Hello, greetings, and salutations. Welcome aboard my podcast. I am Jason with Jay's Paradise Travels. I'd like to thank you for tuning into this week's episode. Today, I will be discussing my experience with the Philadelphia 76ers. Before I get into talking about that, little housekeeping I like to do always before every episode to get that out of the way. If you'd like to go on vacation, specifically a cruise, which is my specialty, or perhaps you'd like to go see a game like I do. Maybe you want to go see the Philadelphia 76ers as well. You can reach out to me in a couple different ways, and I'd be happy to help you out. One way is through social media. You could directly message me. I have a Facebook and an Instagram account. Both of them are the exact same. They're both Jay's Paradise Travels. Jays, there's no apostrophe in there. Make it easy for you. Jay's Paradise Travels. Again, you can reach out to me through Instagram or Facebook. Or if you don't want to reach out through social media, you can send me an email. My email is j.paradise_travels@gmail.com. That's jay.paradise_travels@gmail.com. All right, now that that's out of the way, now I can go in and tell you about my experience seeing the Philadelphia 76ers. We're going to go back a little ways. Now that I look at the clock, or the date, I should say, we're going back almost 10 years. Back in 2016, and I'm recording this in 2025, near the end of 2025. So it's approaching 10 years since I did this, which is like, wow, time really does fly. But the way I went to go see it, uh, I had met a friend a little bit before then that had lived in that area, was kind of from around that area. He lived here in Michigan at the time, so it wasn't like I went to go visit him, but he had set me up with one of his friends that had gone. I saw when I met this guy, he showed me a picture of him and this friend that he had out in that area, going down to Dallas and catching a football game down there, which I hadn't done that yet. Um, Anyways, when I reached out to him to see if maybe I could meet up with his friend, uh, he was able to get a hold of him, and it worked out nice that I was able to go visit this guy. I'd never met him before, but I trusted him. I trusted this friend, so I knew that this guy would be fine too. And sure enough, real nice guy. And went out there, flew out there. At the time, I had flying benefits. I had worked for the airline. That's always nice. Flew out to Philadelphia, and I guess where he lives, I don't know if he lives exactly in Philadelphia. He might live like they border a state. I don't know if it's Delaware or what state it was. Um, I get those states out there in the Northeast kind of. I don't remember where everything is geographically, but I know they're all out that way. Anyway, so he was in one of those northeastern states. I flew in there. He picked me up, and this was like on a Saturday, and there was two games that were going on that day, and even though I did have flying benefits, there was times still that I would like to knock out two birds with one stone if I could, and that's what I was able to do on this trip. The first game that we went to see was the Philadelphia Flyers, which is their hockey team. And the Flyers and the 76ers both play at the same arena. A lot of hockey teams and basketball teams share arena. I went out there. He picked me up. We went to the Flyers game. We met up with some guys there, a couple of his friends, and we got to see it. We were a little late getting there. Like, I want to say the first period already started. We were already into the first period. And we saw the hockey game, got to hang out with the friends a little bit, and that was cool. And then we moved on. I'm not talking about the Flyers on this podcast. I'm talking about the 76ers, but that was part of the trip. Anyways, we had a little bit of time. So this was kind of like the hockey game was around, noon, 1 o'clock, they're an afternoon game. The basketball game was later on that evening on the same day. We had a little bit of time to kill in between. So what did I do? I'm in Philly. I wanted to get something to eat. I asked him, hey, I want to get a Philly cheesesteak sandwich while I'm out here. And he's like, all right. So we went down the road. He went to a place that he liked, and we got one. Took it in the car, ate it. That thing is delicious. Philly cheesesteak sandwich. Now I'm a meat guy, and so having a cheesesteak sandwich definitely was up my alley. That's for sure. And I was like, well, when in Rome, right? I'm in Philly. I want to get it from Philadelphia, a Philly cheesesteak sandwich. I'd never had one before in from Philly. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Glad I got to taste that. Anyways, from there, We went back over to the game. Now there was a little bit of, like I said, there was a little bit of time. There's some daylight left. So what I ended up doing, those pictures that I normally like to take around the stadium, I did that for, well, because we were already running late for the Flyers game, so I didn't take any pictures then. But I did it after the Flyers game, before the 76ers game. And so I did my normal pictures, and because we were in a car, we were able to drive around, and I got to take it from one angle. We drove around, got to take it from another angle, drove around, take it from another angle. So I don't always get the entire building, um, because of how this went. I was able to kind of basically go around and get the entire building, which is kind of cool. Like I said, it doesn't always happen. Usually, wherever we park, we walk in. I might walk around a little bit, but uh, I don't know if I don't always have enough time nor the distance. I guess you could say, like, I have enough distance between me to be able to take a picture of them. I was able to do it that this time around, which was kind of cool. Then we go in, we catch the 76ers game. Afterwards, we went to his house, his family's house, I should say, and they had a really nice finished basement. That's where I slept that night. Um, really, really comfortable, really really nicely decorated, just a really nice home. Got to sleep there, and then flew out the very next morning. He took me to the airport. It was like the earliest flight I could get out on Sunday, and then I was able to come back home. That was the experience of going to Philly, catching these games, and who I got to stay with, and what I got to do while I was out there. Um, so that was that. Now going on to the game itself. Um, I was trying to think about it. Like, do I remember much? Did anything really stand out? I got to be honest. I didn't. I had to kind of look it up, which that happens. You go to so many games, and not everything always something stands out to you, especially when it's almost 10 years ago. So I had to look it up, but I did look it up, and in the first quarter, they ended up having a tie. They were tied 28-28. Um, and I don't recall anyone uh, being too dominant or anything. I don't remember if they were close or if one was dominant or anything. But apparently at the end of the first quarter, it was 20-20. Going into the second quarter, tied. Indy pulled ahead in that quarter. Again, how they did it or when they did it, I don't remember. But apparently they went ahead, and they were leading by 12 at halftime. Okay, so Philly, I was a Philly fan for a day, and this day at the moment they were down in the first half. Second half came back though. They held Indiana just 13 points, and they doubled the score. So they actually took the lead going into the fourth quarter. Like, all right, Philly wasn't all that hot that year, and I'll get into that eventually. But they did take the lead into the fourth quarter. All right, cool. Maybe the 76ers will win this thing. Nope, nope. Indiana ended up scoring 41 points in the second quarter or the fourth quarter, and really taking the lead. Didn't look back. So they ended up winning the game 115 to 102. That was the final score. The Indiana Pacers beat the Philadelphia 76ers 115 to 102. That was the game itself. Again, I don't remember the game much or anything special about it. So I'm guessing nothing really stood out that I did remember, because there's other games that I've seen, and I will remember maybe a certain play or certain whatever. Someone had a lead or didn't have a lead, whatever. Sometimes I'll remember those stand out, but nothing really stood out in this one. The fact that they won, I do remember that the 76ers did lose the game. I just didn't remember how exactly. Anyway, so they lost 115 to 102. And as regards to the stadium itself, as I mentioned, I got to go around it, and it is on the outside nice. Um, and inside, I don't recall anything special either. And I didn't take any pictures of anything within the inside. I've tried to come around to doing that a little bit more if I can, depending if they have like something going on. I'm sure they did. I'm sure they had. I mean, most stadiums do. They got something going on around there, like a championship banner or retired jersey, something like that. I just didn't take any pictures of whatever it may have been. Um, but apparently they've changed names. So when I went, it was called the Wells Fargo Center, which is a bank. Again, another financial institution. But apparently that's not even there anymore. They changed the name to Xfinity Mobile Arena. That's the new name of it now. How long that's going to be, no clue. that could eventually go away and it becomes something else. But for now, I guess it's the Xfinity Mobile Arena. Back when I saw it, it was the Wells Fargo Center. Now, growing up, Philly, because I remember more so Flyers. Um, I can't remember what it used to be called way back when. Oh well. Anyways, but when I went, it was the Wells Fargo Center. I know I've on these podcasts I've kind of complained like all these financial institutions and insurance companies that get these names. I'm like, okay. Um, Xfinity Mobile Arena. I mean, I guess that's a telephone company. All right, whatever. It's still, it just is what it is. Uh, don't love it, but it is what it is. Anyways, but this one because they weren't doing too hot, the tickets weren't too bad, so we actually got to sit a little bit closer, which was kind of cool. For the Flyers game, we were up top, and this one we got to sit a little bit closer. We were on, behind one of um, the basketball hoops, but wasn't on a side, but still a little bit closer, which was kind of cool. And just some miscellaneous things with it. As I mentioned, they weren't that hot that year, and when I was looking at their when I was looking up to see what they did that year in their record, they started out like 1-30. I mean, I think I think they started it with like 19 game losing streak or something like that, and or 0-18 they started. It's something to that effect, and then they won, and then they had another like big losing streak. I think there was 18 games. I think it was 18 0-18 to start, won a game against the Lakers apparently, and then lost another 12 to start like 1-30. Well, when we came into the game, they were for their last 31 games they were 2-29. That's insane. Um, but and then the game that we went to, that was their 12th loss in a row. So yeah, definitely not doing too hot. That's probably why we could afford tickets to go down a little bit lower. um, Apparently they did win the next game though. After us, if we would have stayed a couple more days, we could have saw a win. They beat New Orleans the next day, and that was their last victory for the year. They lost four more after that. Altogether, obviously didn't make the playoffs and probably was the worst team that year. Looks like I want to say they're uh, yeah, I don't know what their record is. 9-10 wins, whatever that is. Amounts to very not great at all. Not great at all. Um, I know they've done better since then. Um, they've had some decent years since then, I think. But I don't know if they have, but I don't know if they've ever been in a position where they've won a championship recently. Can't remember the last title they won, if at all. The 76ers, I thought that was an interesting name. Like, what is a 76er? Apparently, that's based on the year the Declaration of Independence was signed. Like, oh, okay, that's what that means. Um, Interesting name. I guess, you get a number as a name. You got the San Francisco 49ers, Philadelphia 76ers, kind of some random numbers. But they all have something. I think they just have to do with the year. And then going to Philly kind of always made me think growing up, I always loved watching the show Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Um, he was from Philly, born and raised in Philly. I think Will Smith is from Philadelphia, the actual guy. So that's kind of cool to be able to go there. Not that I got to take a big tour of Philadelphia itself. I do remember going there years before as a flight attendant, having a layover in Philadelphia. Not, I didn't get very many, but I kind of walked around a little bit, but I didn't get to see too much. I didn't get to tour too much. And my friend who I was with, we did get to drive around. I get to see a little bit more. I think I did get to see like the Liberty Bell, but I didn't. If I did, I didn't get to take any pictures. Um, and because I don't really recall ever getting out of the car, so I can't remember if we actually saw the Liberty Bell. Like if it's outside, if it's inside somewhere, we just maybe saw where the building is that it was. I don't remember. I'm pretty bad with my memory, but it was either like one or the other. Either we saw it as like, oh, there it is, but we never like really got out of the car or anything, or we saw like the building where it is, something to that effect. Um, yeah, that was kind of it as regards to Philadelphia. Getting to see anything, got to experience a Philly cheesesteak sandwich, like I said earlier. That was nice. And as regards like the teams, all the teams are right next to each other, just like literally right next to each other. So where I was at, I got to see the football. I mean, not the hockey arena, basketball arena. They're 2-1 right there. Uh, that was cool. Got to see that. But literally, or like right next door, you got the football team, the Eagles, and the baseball team, the Phillies. Which I have to go back and see those teams. I haven't got to see them yet. So I've laid eyes on the stadium. I've got to physically see the stadiums. I just haven't gone to a game yet. And my hobby consists not just looking at it, being able to physically lay my eyes on it, but to be able to actually go to a game too. One day I'll have to try to go back and see them both if I can. That's the goal. That's the plan. One of these days. We'll see how it goes. But for this trip, we got to see the 76ers and the Philadelphia Flyers play. And I have not known a city to have it that close. Now, Detroit used to be like kind of all over the place. You had the Tigers were kind of in Detroit, the Red Wings were in Detroit, and then you had the Pistons out in Auburn Hills, the Lions out in Pontiac, and then in the last few years, they've all been downtown. And they're not far from each other. Comerica Park, which is where the Lions or the Tigers play, is right next door, literally right next door to Ford Field. Um, and then just across the street, I guess you could say, across the highway, you have Little Caesars Arena, where the Wings and the Pistons share a building too. Very similar. They're pretty close, but I still think their distance is just a little bit more than this. I went to Denver earlier this year. The Rockies weren't too far, maybe like a mile away, not even something like that, from where the Nuggets and the Avalanche play at Ball Arena, which is almost next door to where the Broncos play. They're relatively close, but they're definitely a little bit further. Detroit's really close, but I think even them a little bit further. Philadelphia, they are all like right next to each other. I have so far have not seen a city that had all four major sports teams so close to each other. I've seen some that are very close, and I haven't gone there yet. I know Kansas City, like the Chiefs and Royals, are very close to each other. In Anaheim, the Ducks and the Angels are very close to each other. So you'll get a couple teams, but I have yet to see where all four major teams, not even in every city doesn't have all four major teams, but um, I've yet to see all four major teams be so close to each other like that. And if you know of any that's closer than Philadelphia, feel free to leave it in the comments. Let me know because I have yet to see that. And and maybe I just haven't come across it yet, or just there's one I didn't think of. And if you do, like I said, leave it in the comments. But from my recollection right now that I can think of, I have not been able to think of any that are more closer in proximity than the four teams in the Philadelphia region. So yeah. Anyways, but that will kind of do it for that. If you like I said, feel free to leave a comment. I'd love to interact with you. If you do like this video, please like it, rate it, share it, subscribe to the channel. All those good things that keep podcasters going. And for myself, this is a business, a travel business. I would love to be your travel agents and your family, friends, travel agent, trying to make this world a happier place one vacation at a time. So feel free to share it with as many people as possible. And if you do want to go on vacation, again, a cruise is my specialty. Or if you want to go on a trip and go see a sports team such as the Philadelphia 76ers, then I'll be happy to help you out with that too. You can reach out to me through, again, social media, Jay's Paradise Travels, Jays, no apostrophe, Jay's Paradise Travels. You can look me up on Instagram, you can look me up on Facebook, and send a message to me that way. Or if you want to reach out to me through email, you can email me at j.paradise_travels@gmail.com. That's jay.paradise_travels@gmail.com. Or if you look in the description, I do have links to like my Calendly where you can book an appointment with me, my website. You can go on the website and there's a way to reach out to me through there. And there's other things that you can look up too if you look down below in the description. So feel free to check all that out. And again, all those things that keep podcasters going, that is always helpful, as well as for business purposes too. And I'd like to try to get these subscribers up, so please subscribe to it or share it with somebody else so that they can subscribe to it as well. That'd be great. Anyways, thank you again for listening, and I will talk to you again later. Take care. Bye bye.